We need to start with an inspection, try and find where the pests are harboured. The approach I think needs to be methodical, Jeff, in that sense that we start low, work our way around and cover that area, and we step up a bit and we work around that sort of mid-range area to see where else any pest activity may be found, and then we take it on a higher area to see where any pest activity may be.
So, Brett, without asking a silly question, why are we going to do it this way?
Look, I think my approach or my answer to that is that it allows me to make sure that I've covered all areas. If I start at a point, for me, I work right-handed, so I like to work in a right-handed direction. And if I start at this point and work my way through at that level, well, I know I've covered all those areas. And I come back and start up and work that next level, and again, and finally the third level, and work up again, apply the same sort of principle. So I know that I've covered all those areas. We're checking the hinges up in behind these areas here for as any German cockroach activity or large cockroach species activity, which generally tend to be harboured in certain areas. Normally what we need to do is get physically in and under this sink area to try and find where the infestation may be. We've got some sort of stored items, loose items on the ground here. Your habit should be to pick up those items and physically look in under those things, because German cockroaches certainly like to harbour themselves. There's food scraps and bits and pieces in amongst all these items here, and again they like to get in and nest in those areas there. So it looks fairly clear here at the moment, but certainly what you need to do is, if you're servicing this type of hotel on a regular basis, generally it might be a monthly arrangement, get in and re-inspect these areas on each visit to determine whether there's any pest activity. Okay, other areas we need to check. We've got a dishwasher here, certainly a favoured spot. You may need to take off an access panel to get yourself into the electricals of the unit, but just keeping in mind your safety at all times. If it's something you're not confident about, or it's not a straightforward take the cover off arrangement, you may need to involve management or an electrician to get in and give you access into that area, in particular if you feel that there's an infestation there that you need to access to control the problem. Moving along, again, checking low. It's a hands and knees approach to cockroach management. So we're checking in under the bench area here to see whether there's any issues or concerns. We can see a little bit of sort of debris, rubbish under this area here, but again it appears free of any cockroach activity. From a treatment perspective, ideally you could apply tempered against the floor wall area in this situation to offer you some sort of residual control and prevent any pest activity or control in this area. We've checked up under the floor area here, under the bench area. We move up a little bit higher, still working at that lower level as earlier indicated there. And here is another potential area where German cockroaches may be harboured and concealed. From an application view, you could look to apply a gel or a dust application in this situation. Just keeping in mind too, with dusts and gels, that generally you want to use one or the other in an environment, because one can be one is a repellent and one is a bait. So generally you don't want to mix them both together in that sort of situation. But again, choose which is the ideal product in that situation or what you favour.